What's up, guys? Reza-Kaze here with Reza thoughts on Final Fantasy 13, my final thoughts. And this is also going to be nicknamed on Do As I Say and Not What I Do. The video you are watching is me taking on the Long Gui. And you know what? This is not the Long Gui from from the original, from Final Fantasy 13. This, I feel, is a definitely weakened sort of monster. You know, not taking into consideration that first attack you just fucking obliterated me with. But just thinking overall that it is definitely a weakened version. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about this match, about the battle, and some of the other battles that I faced in the game, and then I'll give you my afterthoughts. The battle with the Long Gui is a fragment in the Arclight Steppe, and it's one of the like 4 difficult battles or something like that in the area. This was probably the most painstaking one. I definitely went full sort of strength and attack motions with it. The other one is Yomi. It's like a Seath. I cut out the beginning part of the video because I started there and I kept getting killed. But he's a bitch. I'll tell you about him a little bit later. But with the Long Gui, what I found the easiest, well, not the easiest way, but the way I did it and the way you're going to see it, you obviously got to take down those legs first, get them staggered, and then try to focus your attacks the best you can on the legs, heal when necessary, and right before you take down the second leg, you know, try to debilitate his head, you know, deprotect, deshell, make sure your guys, you know, have that saboteur, synergist sort of thing, so you're doing it at the same time. And then when that leg goes down, he'll fall down and you can just peg away at him completely. The first part of it, I kind of fucked it up because, you didn't think to stagger the head, you do more damage that way. You know, try disaster on, get him staggered, get him up to full effect, up to 999%, switch to your Cerberus commando and just peg away. I suggest when I had that golden chocobo, out of all my monsters leveling up, you know, as best as you can, that golden chocobo at this time could have like the highest strength up till now. There is one other monster, but you need to like find him through in a strategy guide. This is just like playing normally, no strategy guide, no internet help, no nothing. So like I said, you stagger him, you get him down, you stagger up his head, you peg away, heal when necessary, and just do it all over again. Now I say do as I say and not as I do because I don't have any sort of like defensive paradigms. The best I have is discretion, which is 2 medics and a commander. I don't have any sentinels. I don't have a sentinel monster. I don't have a saboteur monster. I don't have a medic monster. I have 2 commandos and a ravager. Yeah, definitely not the best way of doing it, but you know, that's definitely how I did it. Like I said, clearly not the best way of doing it, but that's how I did it. Now with Yomi, the Seath, definitely I haven't beat him. I don't think I'm going to beat him. I'm still on the edge of, you know, buying the DLCs, the extra battles, the extra stories. I've already beaten the game. That's why I'm going to give you, you know, a full sort of in-depth afterthoughts of it. But like I said, I'm still on the edge of whether or not to even get the DLCs. I have a thing about paying money. Then again, I play like Battlefield, Call of Duty, so I buy the maps, and it's just depending on what I actually want to do. But anyways, getting off track a little tiny bit. That Yomi is a bitch. By the time you get him any close to being staggered, he'll do this impenetrable aura, and you can't do any damage whatsoever. All you can do is heal and buff your guys up. He's quick attacks. As soon as you get him staggered again, he does that aura. You can barely get a full attack session in on him before he barriers up and heals. Now, what I've discovered, checking out the internet for best ways to beating them, is creating like 2 or 3 defensive paradigms. A couple sentinels and a saboteur, a couple saboteurs and a sentinel, 3 sentinels, because he has this attack that just like completely crushes you. And yeah, it crushes me. My characters are all the way up to level 99s on just about every class except for one. They got like 12 levels to go in each one of them. And I don't know if I'm going to get the DLCs, then I'll probably get them leveled up more. The other, and that one's a bitch. I have yet to beat him. The other battle is an extra battle. Once you beat the game, you get this paradox scope, and you get to challenge you get to see paradox endings. And one of them is defeating Caius with just the monster and Sarah in the Void Beyond. Now, that was called the toughest battle in the game, and it definitely was a fucking tough battle. He does wound damage, which, if you can tell, actually, if you look at Sarah or Noel, there's a little bit of spot between the red bar and the full health bar. When you get wounded, your maximum HP goes down. So he'll do fucking damage like crazy, and he'll do wound damage at the same time. So when you get your health filled up, it's not all the way complete, then he'll do a big attack again, and it's just a whole critical thing. But I discovered a very easy way of doing it. One, you want to make sure your feral link gauges on all 3 of your monsters are complete. One thing I discovered, he has a combo. It's not like legitly a combo, but the way his ATB gauge charges and whatnot, he'll do a series of attacks that's really close together, and it could really fuck you up and dealing a lot of damage to where you can't heal or even get off an attack. He'll do like 2 or 3 sword slashes, and then he'll throw you up in the air. And then he'll do his graviton or giga graviton, and it will slam you down, still unable to attack. Then he'll jump up and do Inferno. That will do like 4,000 or 5,000 points of damage and fuck you up completely. Now, what I discovered is he'll do that every time. In the middle, when he's doing his slashes, and before he even lifts you up or do Graviton or Inferno, if you do your Feral Link, no matter what it is, he'll stop his combo thing, which is absolutely critical in order for him to stop that attack, and in order for you to get healed up and get him staggered. Another tip that I found, I only had like 3 or 4 of these items when going through the game, but elixirs. Elixirs will, now it said it will fill your feral gauge, but I don't think it fills it completely, so that fucked me up a little bit. But it will completely heal wound damage and everything, you and your monster, and increase your feral link gauge a little bit. That helps tremendously. That gives you that extra boost. I use 2. You could probably get away with 1 if you're at the level I am, but use that elixir. Don't be afraid to use it once or twice. Get him there, and boom, you got him dead beat down. Now that I spent half the video talking about the impossible battles, let me give you my final thoughts of the game, and just go through from beginning to end as best as I can. My before thoughts, I said that this game really felt like a sequel, that all sequels were never really good, and it has a lot to live up to, a lot to improve on. 13.2, I think in so many ways surpassed the original. Not because that the game was flawed in many ways, but also because this game, honestly, if it wasn't for all the tremendous backstory you have, because it is a sequel, it bases a lot off the first game, but it could really be a standalone Final Fantasy game. I think that's what made it an incredible game. Yeah, I mean, this probably was one of my favorite ones to play since 10, and that's a lot to say. Like, I've been playing a lot of the Final Fantasy games, and I'm sort of critical on them. But yeah, this was definitely a really good game. It could have been a standalone story one that worked that way. You would have been completely lost. But yeah, it's definitely a great game. Another what to go on next? I had it all in my head and then just fucking lost. Let's see what else to go on. Yep, drawing a blank. I'm sorry about that. I should have had notes. The other thing I can think of, let's see, the game. It's really easy to level up and get overpowered. I didn't even beat the game yet, and I already had, you know, out of the 6 roles that you can take, I had, for like each of my characters, 4 roles completely up to level 99. And the other one of them was like up to like 50 or 60, and the other one was down to 1. I didn't start it yet, but it is way too easy to even on. I didn't do it on easy. I did it on normal, but it's like really easy to level up to the max and be just overpowered and be no match to some of these monsters and enemies. Like the final boss of the game, I fucking wrecked him. They were no chance whatsoever. I had to heal maybe once, and that was just because, you know, I was low and I wanted to heal. That was no doubt about that. That's really the only negative I have to say about the game, is that it's just really easy to get overpowered and makes the game just a tad too easy. Maybe if they added in a harder difficulty, maybe it wouldn't be so easy, but you know, that's the one true negative, that it's way too easy to get overpowered. The other negative thing is that this game prided itself on being non-linear, that you can go to places out of order, whatever order you wanted to. I find difficulty in that because without order, I felt like I was definitely going out of place. I go to one place before I go to another, thinking, you know, I'm missing scenes or something. It's just the way my mind works, and that definitely was not the case, but that's, like I said, that's just the way my mind evidently worked, thinking that I missed something that I really didn't. Some pretty good positives. There is a lot of DLC. Even though I haven't touched any of it, there is a lot of DLC that you can use, whether it's weapons, outfits, a couple extra storylines. The game definitely has a lot to offer for the gamers and for the people that love this game. The other positive I have to say is that its story is one of a definitely not one of a kind, but it has multiple endings that you can find. They're all paradox endings and ones that not really happened, but has a lot to extra work for to get that 100%, so to speak, in the game. I never, you know, prided myself, especially in Final Fantasy, because there's a lot to do, and one of the like requirements to get 100% is to fight every monster, and a lot of those monsters are hidden monsters or quest monsters, and you can never find them, or they're just, it's always monsters that's beyond tougher to beat than the final boss, and you can only, I never understood that there's monsters and enemies that's stronger than the final boss of the game that's trying to take over the world or set whatnot. The ending now, there was a secret ending that you can only see when you got 100%. I ended up just watching it on YouTube because, like I said, that bestiary is bullshit. Fighting and beating every single monster in the game, that's tough work. All those hidden monsters, all those, just every one of them. I'm like, no, I don't feel like doing it. That's why I don't know if I'm going to even play the DLC. Or get any of the DLC for that matter. So, but I saw the ending. It was Caius. Maybe I'll link it to you, one of the ones I saw. Maybe I'll find English subtitles. The one I watched had Japanese subtitles. But he was speaking in English, which didn't make much sense. Anyways, it was Caius sitting on the throne of the goddess. He explains that the goddess is dead. He's seen all the endings, but it doesn't change the fact that she's dead. Time has stood still. La-di-da-di-da. I say that a lot in my videos. I gotta stop doing that. Bad Sean. Which leaves people to believe that there's gonna be a so to speak, a 13-3. Now, I read somewhere that it wasn't sort of thought that there was going to be one. Like Tetsu Nomura said that there is not going to be a 13-3, that he hasn't hinted towards anything. But a lot of people are saying it's coming in the way of DLC, which I see that happening. That there's rather going to be a DLC chapter or chapters rather than a whole new game. You know, my thoughts of the thing is that Tetsu Nomura, the god of Final Fantasy, so to speak, has another game close and dear to me, Kingdom Hearts series, that has been on a handheld game fix for the past 4 or 5 years. And I played them. The only one I haven't played yet was Coded, and the newest one coming out soon is Dream Drop Distance. And in an interview with him, actually, he said that, you know, it's like, are you going back to Kingdom Hearts 3? And it was like, anytime soon. It's like, well, I can't reveal anything about the story, but if, you know, the secret ending in Dream Drop Distance should reveal some light on the whole subject, which that really does excite me, because I know there's going to be something revealed in that. And even more so, he said in a interview with Game Informer about that game that he believes that Kingdom Hearts 3, that the Kingdom Hearts series, not necessarily 3, but the Kingdom Hearts series, needs to be coming back to the console soon, which can only mean that he is going to be bringing it to the console soon. I'm not going to wait for that. But bringing back to this game, Final Fantasy 13-2 is a great game. There is no hiding that whatsoever. This is a fantastic game. This is definitely a must-play game. The price has come down. There's no... well, there was special bonuses for people that pre-order, but not if you buy new. You know, buy used if you can find it. If you're a fan of Final Fantasy, even 13, this is a great game. Get it, buy it, rent it, borrow it, steal it from a friend, whatever the hell you can do, to be honest with you. Get the game. It is spectacular. There's nothing else to say that this is definitely a must-play game. Coming up, I end up beating him. I only get 1 star in the game, 1 star in the battle, but I could care less. I beat him. Haha. I got the fragment. I got the extra CP, Chrysogene points, and that's all there is to it. I hope you enjoyed my final thoughts on Final Fantasy 13. Once again, it is definitely a must-play, and I hope to see you guys in the next video. Peace out.